Hi. Somebody asked me how I make my little hands for my dolls for my dollhouse, and I thought I'd give you a quick demonstration. I'm making hands tonight for these people here. My fisherman, my craggy-faced fisherman, a housekeeper from the dollhouse we're doing, and a man who started off being like him, but he turned into somebody totally different, which is not unsurprising when I'm making figures. So I'm making hands for the fisherman to start with, and I'll just do one pair for you. And so I start with a little roll of Sculpey. Just make it a little bit more thin. Or maybe I'll use one of those ones, it's better. And I cut it about 1.5. I'm making little fingers, so I don't have to be exact. I'll cut four. So I usually do two hands at once. I started doing a hand, got interrupted, so I've had to come back to it. I'm just rolling the little ends so that they're more round. And I build them upwards like that so I can see how I'm going. And you've got the middle finger and you've got your, that will be the ring finger. And the forefinger, which is a little bit shorter than the ring finger. And the little finger. Fiddly. Right. So then I use my favourite tool and I squish them together a bit so they don't move around. Sorry, I just got to put my hand over there for a minute. There we go. Something's happened. My fingers have moved, but I'll just change the length a bit. That will do me. Now I do the back first, and I take a piece like this and I'm making it into a sort of a spade shape with a very narrow front edge because that's going to be going against the fingers. A bit like that. Might be a wee bit big, but never mind. Just a bit big. And I put it over there where I think the knuckle's going to be. I'll just round that off, it's annoying me. And remembering that this is the forefinger. And for the knuckles, this is an old man's hand, so it'll be all knuckly and arthritic. I push a ridge up with my tool. And then I just do a little indentation and make sort of knuckly shapes. And then I'll put a few little veiny things in there. I might come back to that later. Okay, so now I've got the fingers done. I turn it over. And I do this so that I remember which hand I'm working on. And I get a piece of Sculpey and I make it about the size of a large pea. And I'm going to make the thumb. And so I just squeeze a bit out, roll it around a little bit to get it about the right thickness, the same as the fingers. I can nip a bit off if I feel it's getting a bit too long. And because the thumb's got that joint like that, we can make it go a bit like that. And I'm putting that there. So this is the muscle part of your thumb. And the thumb comes down quite a way on that forefinger as a rule, but if you make doll's house hands like that, they look odd, so you've really got to bring it up a little bit so there's not quite so much space there between the thumb and the finger. And then I bring all that over into the palm, keeping that kind of muscly bit there. And I'm going to just give it a bit of a squeeze now to make sure I get it all the right width. Manhandle it a bit. It's very forgiving. Just a little bit more work there. Sometimes hands go on really well, other times they're a problem and you have to start again. Okay, so it's not too bad. but I think my fingers are a bit long still. I'll just check. And my thumb might be a wee bit big. Pinch him in a bit more there to make his wrist. A bit hard doing this in front of people. I'm used to pottering along on my own. Okay, remembering old hands. Do some bits across there for his knuckles, a little bit for the nail. That thumb's still a bit big. Just amputate a bit there, sorry. But it's not looking too bad. So there you have a pair of hands for the fisherman. Probably not my best hands, but it's just showing you that it's a good way to do those fingers like that, because they always look more like fingers. And I've got a pair here that I've already done that had shorter fingers, so I might just cut his a little bit shorter just to be a bit pedantic. Quick amputation. And a wee bit more off that little finger. Okay, I think I'm happier with that. Just round those up, because they're not going to be, I've found if I do hands and the fingers are wide apart, they tend to break easily. So I keep my fingers fairly close. Now I'm not quite sure what this guy's going to be doing with his hands. He might want to be holding something. And if he's right-handed, that'll be a rod. So I'll just make that a little bit more realistic. Okay, that's for him, and he could be waving to somebody with that hand. So I've got 4 little hands that I've done. I'm going to put them on a tile, and then I'm going to put them in the oven. Right, so I've got this little oven that I keep just for baking Fimo and Sculpey in, because it has got toxic gases if you're not careful. I don't want anything in my food. Pop that in there, and I have this set. Now on the packet of Sculpey it says you bake it at 112 for 10 minutes or sometimes a bit longer, but I find that that burns a bit if I do that. And this is a hot little oven, so I've got mine set at 85. And I go down to 10 minutes, and I'll do 10 minutes for a hand like that, because I don't want the fingers to start getting brown. And that will take 10 minutes. Okay, so the ding is gone and it's ready, and they're not singed or looking brown. They look ready to go. And one of the things I didn't do with these ones is I didn't put holes in the ends like I did those ones. But I can drill those later, so it's not totally lost. So I hope you give these a go. Not terribly hard, and I'll catch you tomorrow.